Welcome! We are so excited to talk with all of you today about the world's water problem. Firstly, we would like to start off by asking you guys a few questions. The first question is, how many bottles of water have you drunk today? So in order to answer this question, I want you guys to put the number of fingers up of how many bottles of water you drank today. I'll give you 2 seconds to put up your fingers. Great job! Now the next question is, did you take a shower or brush your teeth this morning? If you did take a shower and brush your teeth, then put a thumbs up. If you didn't, then put a thumbs down. Wonderful! Now the last question is, when you turn the tap of your sink faucet, does water come out of it? Again, for this question, put a thumbs up if water does come out of your sink faucet, or put a thumbs down if it doesn't. Great job. Now, all of these questions that I just asked you, they're very important because we all are so fortunate enough to have access to clean water every single day, whether it's at home or whether it's at school. We all have access to this water from a sink or clean drinking water from fountains or anything. Many people don't get this. Many people don't have access to clean drinking water every single day like we do. They have to walk hours and hours on end just to find water. But the water that they find is not always clean. The water they find is filled and contaminated with germs and illnesses and bacteria that are very harmful for people. Many people die of thirst, but many people, when they do find water, they also die because of these illnesses that are in the water systems. Here are some facts about the water crisis. 785 million people lack access to safe water. Now let's just think about that for a second. 785 million people. That's a lot of people, isn't it? This many people, this large amount of people, they don't even have access to safe water. Every 2 minutes, a child dies from a water-related disease. Every 2 minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 2 minutes is 120 seconds. Every 120 seconds, a child dies because of water-related issues. Whether they're drinking contaminated water or whether they die of thirst because they had no access to even get water. And finally, the average woman in rural Africa walks 6 kilometers. 6 kilometers is about 66 football fields. And I'm sure all of you guys know what a football field looks like. Can you imagine 66 of those? That's the average amount a person in Africa has to walk just to get clean water. But it's not necessarily clean all the time, just to get any type of water that they can get their hands on. And every day they have to carry up to 40 pounds of water. 40 pounds, that's a lot. Many of you guys probably have a textbook for school, like a math textbook. So think about 12 large textbooks. That's the amount of pounds that they have to carry every day. Can you imagine carrying 12 textbooks at one time? And you might think it might be easy to carry 12 textbooks at one time, but can you carry 12 textbooks and walk 66 football fields at the same time? I know for sure that I would really struggle trying to carry that much weight for that long. And finally, we're about to read a story about Malika's experiences with the water crisis.
The story we're going to read today is called Everyone Deserves Clean Water. In a land on the other side of the world lived Malika, who was 9 years old. She came from a small village in Kenya, a country on the African continent. Malika loved going to school and learning about the new things and new ideas. She dreamt of becoming an engineer someday so she could help her people by building water wells and bringing safe drinking water to everyone. But Malika had to miss too many days of school to pursue her dream. This was because every morning she had to find water for her family. Sometimes she had to walk for miles before finding water, which was often not clean and certainly not healthy. One day, Malika was on her way to find water and she met Emily, who was on vacation in Africa with her family. Emily had traveled thousands of miles, all the way from the United States. She and her family had come to Kenya to see the wild animals that live there, including elephants, giraffes, lions, and zebras. Emily worried that Malika could get hurt by such big animals while she walked looking for water, and indeed, many children do. Even though they did not speak the same language, they played together for hours and soon became good friends. But Emily was sad to see that Malika had to miss school in order to find water for her family. During her flight home, Emily thought to herself that everyone deserves clean water. She wondered why Malika and many children in the world did not have access to this most basic need. Emily's water at home is clean, and she couldn't imagine what it would be like to not have water inside her house to drink, cook, bathe, and clean clothes with. Although Emily began to feel sad for Malika and her family, she promised herself that she would find out how to help Malika get clean water. After Emily arrived home, she looked on the Global Water website and read that there were a lot of water under the ground in Africa, but there weren't enough wells in Africa for people to access the groundwater. Emily decided right then and there she would help Malika get a well so she could easily find water every day and be able to go to school. Emily contacted Global Water and told her story. Global Water agreed with Emily that indeed everyone deserves clean water. It isn't fair that many children in this world must drink unsafe water that can actually make them sick. Emily said she wanted to help Global Water raise awareness of water problems in the world and raise money for water projects. Emily raised a little money for Malika, and working together with Global Water, enough money was raised to drill a water well for Malika, her family, and the entire community. Now Malika goes to school every day and is pursuing her dream of becoming an engineer so she can help others drink clean water too. This is just one example that working together, we can change the world, one village at a time.
You might be wondering who we are. We are a student-led club in the upper school for Lake Highland, and we are called Water for the World. And our goal is to end and help the water crisis. We raise awareness and money to build wells in communities that don't have access to water. So these wells give these communities water that is clean for the rest of their life. Last year, we raised $15,000. With this $15,000, we provided almost 600 people with access to clean water for the rest of their lives. 600 people we were able to help out. This is our team. So first we have Tori. She's a 12th grader. She's a president of our club. Next we have Abby Morris. She's also a 12th grader and she's another president of our club. I'm Kira Manku. I'm in 11th grade and I'm the secretary for the club. Shivi Jain is a 10th grader. She's the treasurer for the club. Ria Nandwani is in 11th grade and she's a publicist for the club. And lastly, we have Arnav. He's in 12th grade and he's a community service officer. So you might be thinking, how can you help as individuals? The smallest help can travel very far and can help many people around the world. So firstly, you can talk to your parents and friends about the water crisis. You can spread awareness. You can tell them about it and tell them the issues that many people are facing in the world today. Even spreading awareness about this problem will make a difference and will make an impact. Nextly, you can ask your parents to donate to Thirst Project or any other water crisis organizations to help support the cause. Any little donation always helps. It goes a very far way when providing someone with clean water for the rest of their lives. And finally, maybe you can try to make a difference for the environment. Maybe try to conserve water a little bit. Maybe try to take shorter showers or turn the water off when you're brushing your teeth. Any little things can help. In this case, by conserving water, you're helping the environment around you. Thank you for listening to us today, and hopefully together we can solve the water crisis issue, and it won't become a very big issue in the future. Thank you.